8 keys to self-love. Key number 4, the things we say to ourselves.
Quietly I wish that I could make it true.
Hello, lovelies. It's Tiina here from Own, Kind and Wonderful, helping you reclaim who you truly are. So 8 keys to self-love. Key number 4, the things we say to ourselves. So it's about language today. It's about our inner dialogue, but also about our communication with other people. Now, loving ourselves, or loving myself, if I own it, is kind of difficult if I constantly go around criticizing myself, putting myself down, saying mean things to myself, and so on. So, looking at that inner dialogue of what is actually going on with the things that we say to ourselves is a really important key in this work with self-love. And it's also about that communication with other people. So, for example, when somebody gives you a compliment, how do you take it? Do you actually accept that as a gift, or do you go, oh no, and then come up with some other reason why that has happened, or why that day you look good, or the clothes you're wearing, anything? You just deflect that. You don't accept it at all. And it's almost like, if you're late to a meeting, what do you say? Do you just say, thank you for waiting for me, I apologize? Or do you immediately go into some kind of story about yourself? Oh, silly me, stupid me. Oh, I just cannot keep the time. I'm so useless at, right? So there's those things that we say out loud to other people about ourselves. And especially if somebody says to you, wow, so if someone would say to me, well, Tiina, that speech that you had about self-love the other day and blah, 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 it was great. And I really got insights. And I go, yeah, no, it wasn't that good actually, and it's like diminishing ourselves. And then the other person goes, yeah, maybe it wasn't so good then, you know, or like, oh, you're so kind-hearted and so open and lovely. And then you go, well, yeah, sometimes, but you should see me most of the time. I'm actually not like that. It's like, really? I do that. I do all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that I'm over and above all this stuff. It's just noticing that stuff. And also, we have this inbuilt negativity bias as people, as humans. And this was really important for us once upon a time when we had to have a view of the world of everything can be a potential threat to life, because it could. Back in the day, that was the world we lived in. But most of us don't live in that threat to survival environment constantly. But we still haven't kind of learned that we don't have to have that negativity bias. We don't have to have those almost like fear goggles on, our guard goggles on all the time. Like sometimes we do, and thank God we have them, because in some situations we need to, but not in daily life. It's a hindrance these days. And again, it's so much about awareness, knowing, understanding, and kind of go, oh yeah, look at that. Again, I went into that negative self-talk. So let's look at some steps that you can take if you want to start noticing and starting changing. So first step, of course, as always, awareness. Awareness of the inner dialogue. What is it that you're actually saying to yourself on a daily basis? What are those kind of repeating, that record that seems to always play? And how are you responding to other people? What are you saying about yourself in conversation with other people? How are you receiving a compliment? What's your reply to that compliment? Is it, oh, thank you for noticing, or thank you for saying that. Oh, I'm so very grateful that you said that. Second step from noticing is actually acknowledging that you have an inner dialogue, and acknowledging that you might not be able to receive a compliment, or that you're not so good at not saying bad things about yourself. and acknowledge it for what it actually is. It's not the truth. The things that your mind is telling you, that's not the truth. It's just mind chatter. Okay? And then it's catching yourself in the act. Like, whoa, there I go again. Oh, there I came again. And then the next step after that is choice. Do I want to keep saying that specific thing to myself again and again? Or is it enough? And this process really, again, as always, this is what I would say, of course, curiosity and self-compassion and love for yourself, but also humor. Because when you start noticing those things that go on in your head, and you kind of go, wow, that's like the 15th time I've said that mean thing to myself in the last hour. You kind of go, really? Like, seriously? Like, I've noticed it now, I don't want it anymore, and still it's going on. Like, please, can you just stop now? And still it will come up. And eventually you just have to laugh about it. It's like, oh my Lord, seriously? No more. Eventually you just get so sick and effing tired of hearing it, of telling yourself that. So, it's like, okay, this is the 53rd time today. Okay, that's enough. Like, no more. And there is something about, you make a decision at that point, a very strong decision that you'll keep, like, that thing, no more. Enough. I've had it with that specific thing. And then you can go, yay, 1 down, 635 to go. Like, that was one of them. Beat that one. Now it's the next one. And quite honestly, I don't think that inner dialogue is ever gonna stop. And we are, gonna catch ourselves saying, something negative or, not uplifting about ourselves. And it's okay. It's about reducing that. It's about choosing to replace that with something else. And tiny step by tiny step, increasing the amount of good stuff that we say to ourselves, or at least not going into the putting yourself down, telling yourself really, really awful things, which, most of us do. That inner dialogue, like 80% of it is not kind, unfortunately. It's just, step by step. Okay, so now I know what I say to myself. Now I can do something about it. And now I choose to do something about it. Right. I have a fantastic self-love booster daily kind of recording. It's about 8 to 10 minutes long. And that one is just reinforcing those lovely things that you can be saying to yourself. It's truly about self-love and self-acceptance. And it's a recording that you can listen to when you're out and about, when you're cleaning the house, when you're going to the gym, when you're relaxing on the sofa, just to hear loving things about yourself. Now, there should be a link here. I'm hoping that works. If it doesn't work, then we'll have to do something else. But there's a link here that you can click on that and you can listen to it. Should that fail, just send me a message and then I'll get that to you. Right, that's it for this time. Next time, key number 5, we're talking about gratitude. Until then, bye now.